Is
Alright.
that echoing for you guys or not?
What's echoing?
You hear it? Okay.
I can hear someone pounding away on their keyboard, but...
That's not me.
Okay, welcome to Broken Earth campaign, part of the Critical Impact gaming community. Unfortunately, this will be Broken Earth's last stream for a while, because the DM has made an executive decision. Some of our players need their Saturdays back, and basically, we don't want to drag it out to get it done, sort of thing. But
real life happens.
Yes, real life happens. I myself suffer from depression, so I'm really aware of mental health. So just making sure everyone stays healthy and happy and can play other games in the future. But we are joined today as players because we are going to discuss just a little bit about the campaign, answer some unanswered questions, and I, as the DM, was just gonna talk about kind of some of the stuff I had in store, just to kind of wrap up what was left. I think you guys were like 3/4 of the way through it all. So I will give us our last. Thank you, phone. I will give us our last recap as I turn down my ringtone. There we go. All right. Our heroes get captured by the dwarves as rocks fall on everyone's faces. Okay, that doesn't really happen, but Broken Earth is being retired for a time. So grab a drink and listen to the DM/players talk about the campaign and answer some questions. Also, Agamemnon is totally a Goliath, but you probably figured that out.
Who'd have thought?
Oh, dog's
Secrets.
pointing at me.
Don't at me, no hashtag.
Just don't do it. Alright, so does anyone have any burning questions they absolutely want answered?
Yeah, I got like a bajillion of them, but
Is
does
it
anyone else want to go first?
syphilis?
Yeah, roll for initiative.
Anyway, I was wondering if Agamemnon was actually the son or related in the familial line to the king. Probably.
Yeah, you I don't know how you figured that out, but Agamemnon was actually the you're not the bastard son. You're basically what happened in the Goliath lands. I'm gonna switch it to the map here. Like, in the Goliath lands, it's basically taboo to leave the Citadel. So if you ever leave, you're not welcome back. And what happened during, like, the Chaos War is that King Gundrag basically, he had a family, but then he realized he needed to leave in order to save the world, as it were. So he left, and he had to leave his wife and then unborn child, Agamemnon. But what happened is, like, the Goliaths were in a really bad spot. They had, like, a good, like, sort of kingdom hanging out in the mountains, as it were. But they were kind of in a bad spot, so instead of hanging out with the Goliaths, your mom decided to try and find her husband. And that's when, tragedy struck, and, she died protecting you. You were found in the mountains, and you were essentially taken to Fort Freybury and raised there. And it was going to come into play at the very end of the campaign when the four heroes, technically the three of them, assembled back at well, I guess I have to tell you now that Amael actually didn't die. They just sealed him away.
Yeah, well, we kind of figured that one out when he
You
started
guys
talking
probably
to us.
figured that one out, yeah.
We did see him technically with Oriel.
Yeah.
Yes. Agamemnon did technically see him. But they were gonna revisit his seal, and they were trying to basically refresh it, as it were. But they brought Prince William, who was now King William, and it wasn't working. And they didn't know why. That's because it went to a direct blood to Agamemnon instead of King William.
Eat it, suckers.
So that they tried to refresh the seal, but it wasn't working. So Amael's influence was leaking out, and the seal was breaking. And I need to go talk to my dog because he's whining. What? Don't know why the dog wants to be out in this heat. Okay. Next question.
Stormhowl. How is that mixed up in everything?
Stormhowl was King Gundrag's axe. And let me actually find... Was it this one? Yeah, okay.
Oh, is that why the axe was talking to Agamemnon?
The axe was talking to Agamemnon?
Yeah, when he picked it up that one time.
I don't quite remember that, but...
That's because it wasn't really his storyline. It was just me improvising all over it.
It's possible. So, if you guys remember this mysterious letter about taking Stormhowl,
Yeah.
it basically says, I just obtain a sample from it, and then, get hold on to it, is what it said. But, basically that was, the leader of the gray hats, or the gray cloaks, or whatever. The guys, you'll never get to see the boss!
Yeah.
Those
Oh,
guys.
yes.
Basically, the leader of the gray cloaks was this guy. Where is it? Here we go. Okay.
Did we kill him?
No, you didn't kill him. He ran away. Show to players. There you go. It was actually this guy. And, that is actually Aethor, one of the 4 heroes. He was trying to find Stormhowl, because the one in the museum was not the actual Stormhowl. And at the end of Agamemnon's questline, you would find the real thing, which King Gundrag basically used at the Citadel to essentially cripple the Goliath, like their civilization. He used it to, how to put this, to basically just kind of close off like these hot springs by destroying the magic within it. And he basically did that to be like, hey, you guys need to leave the mountain because this is stupid, you can't be doing this. But they stayed up there and they gathered together and they survived. And so once you guys got up there, you would basically meet the Goliaths, and they'd be like, oh no, we won't help you down at Fort Freyberry because we're all Goliath and stuff, and besides, you're an outsider, why should we listen to you? And one of the other Goliaths is like, hey, if you go and grab Stormhowl, I mean, they'll probably listen to you. And then you would have the choice of, like, force them off the mountain or basically restore their mountain to what it was before. And I was really looking forward to that because if you remember these two guys, the two kids that the GM likes to yell at, these were actually the spirits of Stormhowl, Tass and Ulu. So you get to the top and they'd be sitting up there like, oh look, someone else wants to play. It's like, yeah, let's fight them. And then they would turn into earth elementals and you guys would fight them.
That would have been fun.
And basically they would like talk to you if you were holding Stormhowl. And it would work out like Agamemnon could wield it one-handed as a great axe.
That would have been great.
That would have been fun.
I seem to recall they were very talkative to Jericho as well.
Yeah, they were more just kind of, hey, these are some NPCs that the GM likes to have fun with. Definitely not important to the story. They're just, ha ha hoo hoo hee hee. And then later they would show up and you'd be like, what?
What a twist!
What a twist.
Alright, what was with all of Jericho's mind fudgery?
His visions?
Yeah.
Okay, so at the very
None
start
of
of
them
the
ever
campaign,
came true. That was the weird part.
a lot of them did, actually. But some of them you did prevent because you knew that it was happening. As for Jericho's whole future vision, dream things, the hilarious part is we were about halfway through the campaign and I was on a walk and I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. I'll use that. And the whole story behind it is you guys would get to the end, where Amael's sealed away and there's going to be the three heroes there. And they're going to be like, oh, we got to refresh the seal, it's not working. Mage guy whose name I forgot. Oh.
Wilhelm, something like that.
Yeah, it's like Wilman with one L. And it'd be like, oh, we're not going to be able to do it in time. Wilman used that special secret thing. And like, they'd be like, really panicking. And then you guys would show up and they'd be like, what the heck are you doing here? It's like, no one's supposed to know about this. And then Amael was like, yes, chaos. Every time we go through this iteration, a little more changes every time. And then they'd be like, whoa, what is he talking about? And Wilman's gonna be like, it's like, I knew this possibility would happen because, like, I perfected the time travel spell, but, I mean, with Amael sealed away and only the goddess of order to rule the world, I mean, it's just gonna keep happening over and over again. So it's possible we've done this like hundreds of times already. So basically, Wilman was like, okay, time travel spell, go! And like, you travel back to... Essentially, the party at the very end would travel back to the opera sequence, where Jericho has his little breakdown. And instead this time, like, everything just kind of like pauses, and Elise is basically like, I can show you this. It's like, you can keep the memories this one time. You have to change it. And so basically you'd go back to square one and the whole campaign would be all of Jericho's memories. So the fact that he could see the future was because it already happens. There's no deviation because the god of chaos has no influence. It was kind of a big it's a bit of a reach, a bit of a stretch, but I really liked that idea, so I went with it.
So the idea being that it's a kind of a time loop, but it's a time loop where things happen the exact same every time.
Yes, because the god of chaos is sealed away, and someone just did something. Hey, Cade, what's up, my man? He's a cool dude. But basically, the goddess Elise would use like the last of her power, of the influence she has, and she's giving you, Jericho, the information you need to change it. So then, like, on this next run through, that'd be like the sequel to Broken Earth. Be like, well, what do we change? Well, you know that Agamemnon left the fort too early before finding the mole. You know that, the Marrow in the Triton Kingdom are running amok, that there's assassins after Lele. Like, you know all that stuff, so you could change it this time around.
Don't let Oriel touch the deck of cards.
Another fun thing that I was keeping track of is that every time you guys cast a chaos spell, one of those pieces of magic that was corrupted,
Yeah.
and as well as various other events, I had you all in like a chaos order slider, and if you got to like 100, that's when Amael breaks free and like takes control of your body, and it's like game over, bad end.
Nice.
But the highest we ever got was 37. That was Sivart. Always casting that chaos blast.
Yeah.
Right behind him was Agamemnon at 22, pulling out all those cards. But other than that, you guys stayed pretty close to the median.
All right. Who killed everyone at the fort?
Oh, that was well, let me find it. And Atherin can back me up on this. Let me go to my tokens page, and I will bring out 2 tokens that will Control C. It was Henry.
Oh yeah.
And there's Angry Henry when you fight him. If you confronted him and figured out it was him. If you confronted him, you would get like a ring of sending that would be able to send like one message per the sending spell, like once per dawn. That's how he was getting information out. But Agamemnon mentioned something about magic divination. Like maybe someone like used magic. And since he was like the main healer, the general went to him. He was like, "Hey, I think there's a mole. We need your help." So that's why everyone died. He basically said, "Hey, I'm gonna put down this circle of the circle that's gonna protect against divination." And the general and those guys not knowing anything about it, like, "Oh, okay, makes sense." And then he activated it, and it was a glyph of warding, and only Sir Wembley survived because he wasn't injured in the battle.
Huh.
So yeah, it was Henry. He's a dick.
Okay. Who was Mr. Ninjas with the strange crystal ore?
Oni Shinobi?
Yes, Obi-Wan Shinobi.
Obi-Wan Shinobi. Okay. So Oni Shinobi. This was actually part of Warlink's storyline. And honestly, I kind of screwed myself by doing character-driven storylines because we
But
lost.
they're so fun.
They are fun, but we lost like so many people during the campaign.
Yeah, it happens.
It kind of goofed. That's kind of on me. So anyways, Oni Shinobi was basically Batman. And you remember he was trying to stop that shipment of Juris ore, or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
From-
Why was the Juris there in the first place? Everyone's like, this stuff is crap.
Well, because you basically need dwarves to make it, to work with it, and it's still basically low quality metal. It's not even as good as copper. But the elves knew that you could like imbue weapons with it. So if you remember, this guy was the one smuggling it because he didn't want anyone to get wind that he was getting some of it. And that's Aethor, and he was trying to work on weapons that could actually kill Amael. And Oni Shinobi, pretending to be, vigilante Batman, was actually part of the Thieves Guild there in Earthcut. So he'd be like, "Oh, you can totally trust me, guys," and then he would double cross you, and
Nice.
that was
It's
gonna
not
be,
like everyone didn't double cross us.
that was gonna be. Well, the elves didn't double cross you.
Oh, they would have.
The Tritons.
Yeah.
Wow.
The Tritons did. Are you kidding?
No, they didn't.
The prince? That wasn't the prince?
Yeah, he wasn't a Triton, so he didn't double cross you.
Felt like it. I think that's all the questions I can think of, except for the dwarven stuff.
I was kind of looking forward to the end of the dwarven thing. I was kind of panicking a bit when you guys decided to just march right up to their door and be like, "Hey."
Hey! Charisma check our way through!
But you got to the mines and you found Sivart's dad, who had been sold there by the sapphire
jerks.
Swords. Those
I can
jerks.
paid them off and they still screwed me.
Man, what's up with those pirates? You can't trust them nowadays. Anyway, I was looking forward to that, because at the end of that, you were going to go through this workshop and you were going to find like clues to like the secret ultimate weapon that they're building. It was going to be like a mecha lion.
Sweet.
But you
Oh
guys,
my God.
but you guys were gonna fight it, and it would fall apart when it got hit just once. But then, like, this guy would come out and be like, "What are you doing in my workshop? Oi, do this!" And he'd like blow on this whistle, and you would like get stunned for a minute. It was like a magic whistle, and then like him and his three brothers would pop out. And I gotta find this conversation with Atherin, because I didn't flush it out all the way, and I can't remember their names. So let's see, Dwarven. Let's search for Dwarven. Not great, it's not there. But it was like the four Dwarven brothers. It was like Veli, Tuli, Nelly, and Loli, or something like that. I can't even remember. But basically, Veli was like the head guy that's like, "Hey, what are you doing in my workshop?" And one of them had like a big shield, and the other one had like a great sword, and one of them had like these greaves on, and he would punch people. And you guys would fight him for a while, and after they kind of got routed a bit, like Veli would blow on his whistle again, and he would get stunned, and like any of the dwarves that were unconscious would immediately hop up. And what they would do is, they would jump onto the guy with the huge greaves. They would jump onto his shoulders, and then Veli would jump on top of him. And it'd be like, "All right, boys, form Voltron!" And it'd be just a huge Voltron joke, and then you'd fight like the four dwarves, kind of fused
Brilliant.
together.
That would have been fun.
I was looking forward to that. Another thing I was looking forward to is after you guys left the dwarves and the elfin place and like made your way through Southbridge or whatever, like a courier would arrive like carrying flyers, and it would say something like, "Are you tired of traveling all over Couridor's Palm? Do you just need to get away for a while? Do you feel like your soul has been ripped from your body?
Me! That's me!
Come to this place," and it'd be like this little town over here. It's like, "Come to this place and you could win your dream vacation. No purchase necessary." And it'd be like just a big flyer for like a big party event thing. And then you guys would get there, and like Oriel like, spin the wheel and she'd win the grand prize. Like, you and 4 friends could win a dream vacation. It was gonna be like
Were
this
they gonna
huge.
try and kill us?
No, it
Yeah,
was
that's
just gonna
not
be like this huge
suspicious.
party, this huge celebration, and I was gonna try and work on my subtlety and be like, if Wario would be like, man, I wish they had like pig's meat. I wish they had like pig bacon here, or bacon, or I don't know, just like something, and like someone would come up with bacon, and basically the whole thing would just be an Illithid scam where they'd set people up and basically eat their dreams.
Nice. So they would try and kill us.
It's your dream
Everything tries
vacation.
to kill us.
Yeah, they weren't trying to kill you. They were just trying to slowly eat your brains.
Just slowly sip at them. All right, who's the crazy dude flying around in the sky and stuff?
Oh yeah, that was, I think it was Vareth. I called him. Yeah, Vareth. Here we go. Showed up where? Vareth. And you fools! The Order of Chaos. This weird voice I gave him. He was basically just one of the lieutenants of the Order of Chaos that were gonna basically stop you from trying to stop Amael. He just
Was they just banking on us? Why were they attacking the fort? Or
Well,
was
they were-
he attacking the fort?
he was attacking the fort with the orcs because, spread chaos and revive Amael.
Screw logic.
They're basically their idea was, if we spread enough chaos, then Amael will be resurrected, and he will reward us because that'll work. That'll totally work, right, guys?
Mm-hmm. No.
Yeah, totally.
Oh,
You want to become part Chimera? That's how you become part Chimera.
Well, you're not wrong.
so how is our characters?
What do you mean?
How'd you like them?
I like the party dynamic. I mean, I'm a DM, so I see a lot of characters and they just all blend together.
Oh,
I
I
think,
was hoping. We
honestly-
might have raised about that.
honestly, there's only one character that stands out to me in my DMing career, and that's Crapper, the Awakened Eagle Druid. Because on the first session, he double nat 20'd a called shot. This is 3-5. He double nat 20'd a call shot to poop in some goblins' eyes.
Right there, boom. Can't top that. Nobody.
And
can
then he's
ever
like,
top
yeah,
that.
okay, my eagle's name is Crapper. I'm like, seriously, you're going with that? It's like, yes. And I let him play the Awakened Eagle because he was very familiar with 3-5. So it wasn't like a, hey there, I'm an eagle.
Yeah.
He's the same player that nearly two-shot the final boss of that campaign, because Rhinoceros and Stampede Charge, whatever it's called. It's like, okay, time to add some more mechanics to this fight. What else? So at the end of Sivart's storyline, basically Bashala was going to give you the ability to shoot a magic missile spell from your horn,
Oh my god.
like once per day.
Okay.
You stuttered, and I thought you said maggot missile.
Same here.
Oh gosh!
Maggot
Oh
missile.
no!
It burrows into
Hold on,
you.
let me just just type in the DM chat here. Magic missile? Nah, bro. Maggot missile.
Disgusting.
Uh,
So, how did Oriel's soul crystal wind up under this?
When you draw that card, it says your soul is trapped inside of a object and is then guarded by a powerful being. So basically, it ended up next to Amael's seal, and so part of the Order of Chaos was like, "Oh, hey, look at this!" And he's like, "Yes, a powerful soul. Go give it to our agents in the Triton Kingdom. They can use it to summon the Leviathan."
So our Aggie's vision of it being by Amael was correct.
Yes, it was correct. It just got moved by the Order of Chaos.
Gotcha.
To the most opportune location.
Right next to us.
Because they were... Queen Amali, I think it was. Can't remember her name, but she was gonna totally sacrifice both... She was going to sacrifice Layla's youngest cousin and then use the Rod of Aquatic Dominance with Auriel's soul to basically summon and control the Leviathan. And then wreck face in the Triton Kingdom.
I'm glad my soul survived.
Yes, it's
So-
quite nice when your soul survives.
Can you tell us what happened to Claire and Warlock, Wizlock,
Warlink.
Warlink? Yeah, whatever.
Claire...
And one last person. Mousebell's other character.
Oh, what's her face? Nyx. Okay, so Claire, like, her storyline was she had to find Isaac's sword, the main hero guy who sealed away Amael, quote unquote defeated Amael. So her quest was going to take her basically here and there, basically picking up information wherever you guys went on where the sword might be. And you would also learn kind of, you know, that it was forged from this Juris ore stuff. So it was able to wound a god. She just basically went all over the place, so it was kind of just like convenient to put her wherever I wanted. Warlink is probably still in Earthcut, but he might have fled because the Thieves Guild there, like, he basically was contracted by them to kill Layla. And those thieves, like, it's, well, not thieves, but, you know, shady types. They wanted to kill Layla because she was a diplomat, and someone was basically paying them to do it. And that was just, wasn't anyone in particular, it was just, you know, a plot point. So, if they ever figured out that, like, Layla was still alive, then they would come after him, because he didn't get the job done. So it's most likely that he fled Earthcut and is in hiding somewhere.
I see.
Nyx has her own shipping business, and she's got her own ship now from the gold that she earned from the adventure in the Triton Kingdom, and she's starting up her own shipping business, transportation, trading, you know, stuff like that.
And one last question from me, I believe. What plans did you have for my family?
Not a whole lot for them. They were basically mostly just a plot device. I wasn't gonna kill them off because there was no reason to as part of your storyline. But it is something we never actually touched on, that you guys never actually asked about or learned, I guess, is that during the Chaos War, the reason people hate demis, as they call them, is because during this Chaos War, a lot of people had different race children. Like, humans would give birth to a tiefling, dwarves would give birth to a human, Goliaths would give birth to a dwarf, or, you know, a human and an elf would give birth to a half-orc. it didn't happen all the time, but it happened a lot. So Farah is actually the daughter to
true
two
dwarf.
dwarves.
Yeah. That explains a lot.
So she was raised by dwarves. And of course, Elora is the Avatar.
Avatar Batchild.
Yes.
She's a true barbarian paladin Gish.
Did you have any other plans for the consortium in Leewick?
The consortium is the place you worked.
Yeah, Pirates Guild.
Let me think. Tiandi. Consortium. I didn't have too much planned with them, but they were involved in smuggling some of the Juris ore. But Tiandi said she was going to look into that while you guys left. So you never heard back from her about that.
Alrighty.
Other than that, I don't think there was too much.
What was everyone's favorite part of the adventure?
Being whipped helplessly for my own idiocy? No.
My favorite part was whipping Agamemnon endlessly for his own.
Giggity.
No.
idiocy.
The demon breaks out and runs to the screen screaming. I think my favorite had to have been when we went underwater. The Triton run was probably the most interesting one I'd seen. I was like, because I had no idea what was going on. Usually I have some kind of feeling what's going on. I had no idea.
I actually think that Layla's arc was the best of the whole campaign.
It's one you guys did in one sitting. Like, he did it all at once. He didn't, like, break it up. So that was nice. Okay. While you're thinking on that, who wants to guess who Wilman was?
Wilman.
He was the wizard hero of the Chaos War.
I don't know.
You guys met him. He didn't call himself Wilman.
Did we kill him?
No, you didn't kill him.
So we didn't kill. Did we try to kill him?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
All right, that narrows things down quite a bit. Was he a magic user? Did we know, or is he just a dude?
He's a wizard. Of course he's a magic user.
Yeah, but did we know?
Oh, it's the masked person
Masked
from
person?
Leewick, the jester type character.
Oh, I forgot about
A good
him.
guess, but no.
He was Oni Shinobi.
No. Alright. Alright, this is one thing I really just like.
Is it Jimmy John?
This is one thing that was really just like eating away at me. It was Jimmy John.
Yes! Knew it! Called it!
Why doesn't he want
Oh, Jimmy
spellcasting
John.
in his bar? It's almost as if he knew something bad could happen if you start casting spells.
Yeah.
And like, if people were gonna cast spells, he was gonna be like, "Hey, cut that out!" Just like yell at him. That's basically him casting counterspell.
Yeah, he did that to me. I remember.
Yep, he cast counterspell on you.
Jerk.
So yeah, Jimmy John was Wilman. I thought that was, you know,
Appropriate.
I just thought it would be funny.
That would have been great.
So
To
who
see him
was
and
the
be like,
masked
"What?"
one?
Oh, Migo was just one of those Order of Chaos lieutenants. Let me see if I can find him. There he is. And show the players. Yes. And yes, he is the one that put the deck of many things into Sivart's pack.
I see.
Just to fuck with it.
Oh yeah, and it worked. That's a great part. He was gonna be like this. He was gonna be like this character during Sivart's, like the first part of Sivart's character arc. He'd be like, "Oh, I know where you can get some gold and silver and jewels," and basically gonna tempt the party, and then you guys would go on this heist, and you would essentially get him an artifact that he needed that may or may not have been something he could use to help resurrect Amael. But then you guys went ahead and made it rain jewels from the ceiling.
Oh, yeah.
So he was like, well, that kind of backfired.
You're right. He's the one that put it in there.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I made them rich by accident.
He
Yeah, I
basically
had
just
no
wanted-
idea what to do with all that money. I had so much, but my character needed to buy so little. I was like, I don't know what to do with all this.
Yeah, that pearl you had, that or whatever that you found, was it held like a spell that was like, it was like entrap monster or something. I can't remember. It was like a 5th level spell.
Not to sound like pedantic or anything, but did Jericho have much of a plot line at any, like an arc for?
Brain fart. Jericho's plotline was basically, you didn't really look into it too much about the whole seeing into the future thing. Let me find my notes.
We all just accepted that he could do it very,
Well-
very quickly.
He had that vision of like all the people basically doing bad things, like bad stuff happening to your party members, these guys that you just barely met. So kind of your plot line was along the lines of helping everyone else out to try and figure out maybe if there's a way to control it, and then it would just end up with you guys heading to, Amael. And honestly, to be totally honest with you, your plot line was not thought out very well.
Yeah, that was like his whole point of why he was a lore bard, why he knew like a bit of this, a bit of that, why he spoke fucking deep speech and all that, was he was trying to find any kind of arcane explanation for why he was having the vision.
Yeah, and eventually you would find out that about the whole time travel thing. And initially I wanted to do like the time travel thing, like you would go back in time and then it'd be like, Jericho, this is all I can give you. You remember what happened last time, now you can change it. And then we'd play like maybe 5 sessions more of changing the timeline. And Jericho, you would be able to see just like kind of the changes. Like you would make changes and then you would kind of be able to see the result of the changes. Kind of like how to put it? Like, you could hang out at the fort some more, and instead of like Agamemnon getting whipped and people dying, you would see like what has changed now and how will this affect, like the elves and the Triton Kingdom and Leowick, etc. But I'll be honest with you, I did not think out your plot line as much as I should have.
Aw. I feel like I bum rushed mine towards the end. I was just like, wait a minute. Oh, I forgot I got that letter. I should probably say something about that.
Yeah, something interesting. Did someone here say they've read Mistborn?
Yeah. One of my players plays as one too.
Something interesting about the Mistborn series is I don't want to spoil it here on the
Please.
stream,
Yeah, please don't.
but that ability that I can't remember what they were called. There's like it's like creation and destruction. Those two forces. I can't remember. Like the ability that destruction had with written text. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Basically, Amael could do the same thing.
Ah ha ha.
So that letter you got from your dad, quote unquote, your dad? No, that wasn't from him.
Yeah.
That was just someone from the Order of Chaos screwing with you.
That jerk.
As well as some other behind the scenes stuff as well. If you guys look at this mysterious letter, this is from the cloaked figure guy who's like trying to figure out, hey, is this really Stormhowl? And you'll notice it says, when you're done, don't hold on to it, do not return it. It originally said, return it, don't hold on to it. Because if they held on to it, you know, suspicion and whatnot. And they find him, track him down. Oh, excuse me. And then diminish his forces. So it didn't really explore that too much, and that was kind of the reason behind Chaos Magic, was that some of the writing gets corrupted. Gosh dang it. There we go. Some of the spell, instructions get corrupted, so it, you know, explodes, becomes something different.
Huh. Well, I had my share of fun. This is the first time I got to play as a player in years.
It do be like that sometimes.
Wow. Yeah, now I get to go right back to it.
Alright, let me think. Was there anything else we forgot to cover?
What was the plan for curing, or not curing, but breaking the curse on the rod of aquatic dominant?
Well, the plan was for Melim to destroy it. Other than that, you'd probably have to find like a wish spell. And you guys could like go back to Earthcut and like if you guys kind of changed the plan, so I figure you could go back to Earthcut and maybe talk with like the king's court magician, and he'd be like, yeah, we can figure something out. The magical wish spell probably lost. You could go do the side quest to find it. And then you'd go do this side quest.
Isn't magic looked down upon there?
Oh, excuse me. Yes, it is. That's not going to stop
So-
the kingdom from keeping a magician that they can consult
Gotcha.
when it comes to magical matters. His name was Puck. He was a gnome.
Yay. Well, you've answered all my questions.
Oh, excuse me. Oh. Don't try to breathe and drink water at the same time.
It's generally recommended against.
Don't tease me with a good time.
Gosh. Okay, what else? Okay. It's Agamemnon's, that's Oreos. This is Layla's. We got through all of Layla's. Oh, hey. Did you know that Melum's sword was made out of Jurisor?
I did not.
I don't what?
The ore that we had.
The strange ore
Oh.
stuff. That's how he was gonna destroy the rod.
Huh.
Tritons, Goliaths, there's the elves, Lord Bashala, Wooden House, yeah, fighting the dwarves, the dwarf thing. Didn't really go to the other dwarf lands where they're less crazy.
So
There's
who wants
other dwarf lands?
a one-on-one battle between Oriel and Agamemnon?
Me.
Uh-huh. What about it?
PvP fight?
You saying who would win?
Yeah. I think Oriel would. She has greater raw power with her battle
Well,
tactics.
Agamemnon
If
would
she hit you.
Agamemnon would win for a while, but then Oriel would hit you and you would die.
Pretty much.
You're a little squishy without your armor.
Well, you'd just get a nat 20 and he'd explode. Excuse me.
My battle tactics would probably be fun against you.
Hey, you could trip him, and then once you did that, you'd have advantage, so that could
And I
work.
can also try to disarm him, so he couldn't attack me as effectively.
Yeah, all your Battlemaster stuff would probably shut me out. But all I have to do is hit you once and then dump all my spell slots into Divine Smite.
Probably. If Elise would even let that happen.
No, she wouldn't. Because there's no reason to smite Oriel.
Excuse me. Okay, so things I've learned from this campaign. One, I want to do shorter campaigns in chapters like Atherin does with Valoris. Because I think that's more manageable. Two, no more character-driven stories.
Aw, don't let us ruin that for you.
You
I
can
might
make
go
them
back to it if
shorter.
the shorter ones work out. Because, I mean, we lost a lot of players over the course of this campaign, and it was really frustrating.
Yeah.
What was the third thing? I forgot the third thing I learned.
Then you didn't really learn it.
I guess I didn't really learn it. Oh well. Oh, is that the 6 o'clock call out? It is. I'm free. Free.
Yeah.
Go, be free.
I bought a capture card today.
Oh,
So now people can watch me play Mario Maker and suck at it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mousebald and I have been thinking about getting Mario Maker so you could send them to us and torture us.
Well, mine aren't torturous, but I do have a few that I've played that are somewhat torturous, including Rubber Ross's levels. But those aren't as bad as, you know, like Kaizo stuff. I can't do Kaizo stuff. Right. If you guys have any more questions about the campaign or, you know, anything in general, just let me know. I will have something up here again here in a while, but I think we're going to put our feelers out because I think Adventures League wants to take over Saturday.
Ooh.
So
Yes.
I might do a lot of those now that Saturday's free. But we'll see. I'll have something else up and running.
Cool. I do love one shots. Please hit me up if you want to do those or need people to do those.
I could probably do a lot of one shots because I made Enigma Company, quote unquote.
Yeah.
So I'm probably gonna do some of those so I can get better at like mysteries.
Yes.
Because those are
I'm so bad at those.
yeah, I'm bad at those as well.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep, I have to go too, guys. Thanks for playing. This
Thanks for coming out, guys. I will have a shorter campaign up eventually, and it'll be a lot of fun. Keep in touch.
Thanks for running us through this one. This was great.
Mm-hmm.
We will see you all next time on Dungeons and Dragons.